What's up? What's up? Let me ask you two questions. First question, what is the definition of originality to you? Because, everything is pretty much done and dusted in today's world. Second question, how many of you are getting too old to nurture that little child in you that wants to create, that wants to explore, but you are scared and embarrassed to face failure? Shiv Khera, he used to say, winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Let's put out this winner word outside and try to, introspect what he's trying to imply here. Don't do different things. Do the same things a little differently. Yeah? Hold that thought while I tell you a story now. Okay? There was this one time that I was sulking. Failed an exam, actually. Dad walks up to me and says, Deepu, why are you so sad? Life is a circle. Bad times will go, good times will come, and the wheels will turn. Just stay at it. As a visual person, this circle was stuck in my head. So I realized that this circle started resonating through everything I did. My dad, my teacher, and everything around in nature was telling me that this life I was leading was a circular process. Okay? Now I realize that when I start at this one point, let's say, taking it as a reference, and I move through this circular journey, mindfully remind you, I reach back to this point of break where I get these questions in my head. What are you doing? What is this boring process of going round and round and round giving you? How can you do it a little differently? And at this point, I realized that I could plot this as a three-dimensional space where this circular path that I was leading, and every time I led this path mindfully, I would move up a little bit, move up a little bit, move up a little bit. And every time I moved up, I upskilled my skill sets. Yeah? The same was true if I did it mindlessly. What happened there? If I did it mindlessly, I would keep going in circles, and circles, and circles, like that buffering screen, Exactly that's what happens, okay? So this spiral is something that I want to talk about today, but I want to talk about it through my tattooing experience, yeah? So that it's put into some kind of a practical application in your life as well, so that you can go out and find your form and probably find new meaning in life through this form. Now, tattooing, as I know it, has become meditation for me. You know why? Because every time I do it mindfully, I am in the moment. And this in the moment thing happens because I can't make a mistake on any of the tattoos I do, really. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble, you know what I'm saying. But when I look for inspiration, I look for inspiration from nature. And I've realized this form, this spiral form, is recurringly going and occurring everywhere in nature. Even when I was coming in this campus, I saw some fern trees, and I realized that the spiral is speaking so much volume through these trees. I was like, yeah, today's my day. I'm in the right place. So it keeps speaking to me, through different forms. And every time I go through these forms, I realize they sort of resonate in our body, in the nature around us, everything that's happening, and not just in physical form, but also through our thought process. Our thought process is also a form of spiraling thoughts and intuitions and everything. Point is, when I do it mindfully, I grow. When I don't do it mindfully, I fall. Now, it's like a pattern. There's this mathematician called Fibonacci who even went ahead and gave a mathematical code to this pattern. So it kind of became a little easier for me to put it in my design process. So what I generally do is, I use it as a guideline, When I use this as a guideline, it kind of gives me a sense of direction as to how I want to go. You should look this up online, and it's really, really interesting. But since I don't have too much time, I'm going to focus on talking about how this spiral keeps spiraling in my life. Yeah? It's like this pattern that keeps coming and going, and subconsciously I've realized I've gotten into pattern recognition that way. This pattern recognition has led me to some crazy insights. Meaning to say, every time I practice a particular form, let's say dance, let's say music, let's say sketching, let's say tattooing, I start becoming aware of my patterns. Now this is really important because once I'm aware of my patterns, I can break them and I can make new patterns. New patterns which I want to create good habits with. And that changes me a little bit every time. From that original form that my dad was talking about when he said, circle. And when I made that little iteration in my three-dimensional world, it turned out to be a spiral. Yeah? That's become my source code. Now, when I involve this in my design process, it helps me with the flow of my design. Now this flow I've already been practicing through circles. Every time I start a design and I do circles, I get into a certain flow, And every time I get into that flow, what my dad said keeps coming back to me. It resonates. So now I've realized this flow and resonance has become my guiding forces that helps me move through my life. And I also have this sacred spiral shape, which is my shape now, So putting all these things together gives me some really interesting outcomes. Let me try and discuss some of those outcomes that I've had, or I could even call it epiphany. First thing is introspection. I've always been going outwardly and looking for answers, but it's all inside. That's why I go to nature to look for that answer and then use it in my process mindfully as I practice it. It brings about a new pattern, and that changes my life every single time. When I have to understand something, I deconstruct it, and when I'm reconstructing it back through this pattern recognition, that sort of brings about that change, and I can see it visually through my art, through my behavior, through my patterns. Everything is so clear now, What's next? I feel it before I interpret it. Very, very important point. You have to feel it. You can't let the thought come into your mind and interfere with your creative process. What happens there? You stop creating. You start thinking. Thinking creates doubt. Doubt creates fear. So get old, but be young. Okay? Be young inside. Nurture that child in you. And that's the key. And as you nurture that child in you, it goes beyond its boundaries to explore the unknown. And that's where our creative freedom lies. That's where we are actually free. Free of this body, free of all this environment that ties us down, and our soul can finally breathe. Okay? So now, I urge you to speak to that child in you. to ask him to come out in different ways and find its form in nature, just like how my dad found his form through circle, and I created that little iteration and found my form as a spiral. This became my definition of originality. So what is original again? You try and you try and you try till you succeed. And if you fail the first time, consider a fluke and keep going at it. That is originality to me. Okay, I think we have a little more time. So let me show you two of my hobbies that I follow in order to practice flow and resonance in my life, okay? And that kind of, eases me out. And this sort of helps me get into my creative process. Have you seen what this is? Do you know what this is? It's a poi. I'm not an expert, but then it's really, really fun process. And as I practice this flow, I sometimes whistle, and this whistle sort of resonates through my body and creates patterns in my body they can't even comprehend right now. And as the sound resonates, I get into a certain flow. Thank you. Thank you so much for hearing me. Cheers.